Welcome to the hair show. Just kidding. Welcome to the spice show. My name is June and I like to use MSG. Instead of going on a week-long budget adventure, today we're going to be going on a spice adventure. A lot of you have been asking me to tell you about my favorite spices to use, why I use them, when I use them, what they're good for, and you may or may not have noticed, I really like to use some MSG in my cooking. And we're going to add some MSG, a pinch of MSG, a little MSG, some MSG, a little bit of MSG, maybe some MSG, a dash of MSG. I also added a little MSG in there, for flavor. MSG is a touchy subject for some of us. It seems like despite numerous studies saying there's no ill health effects, the stigma still stays that MSG is bad for you, which obviously I don't think is the case because I use it in my home cooking. But then again, I also do eat 2 bags of chips every night, and that's for sure not good for me. I'm not a scientist, and I'm not here to tell you if MSG is either good or bad for you. I'm just here to say it's delicious, and I like to use it sometimes. That's all. It seems to have developed a relatively bad rap for maybe no reason at all. Today is the day we maybe give back a little bit of MSG's innocence. There's already been a lot of articles written on this subject. There's also a This American Life segment that's devoted purely to diving into this curious history of how this Chinese restaurant syndrome came about.
Everybody in the world is talking about the Chinese restaurant syndrome. And it's a lie. It's a big fib.
There's been articles tracing the history of this quote-unquote medical hoax theory, and there's also an entire FDA page devoted to discussing commonly asked questions about MSG. We have the internet. These are all available to you if you're interested in learning more. We'll have the links in the description box below. Long story short, in 1908, MSG in its granulated form was developed by a Japanese biochemist who extracted it from kelp. And it was delicious. It basically sucked the essence of delicious umami flavor and made it available to be an additive on all sorts of foods, which all seemed to go fine up until 1968. On April 4th, 1968, a certain Dr. Robert Ho-Man Wook wrote a letter to the editor of the New England Journal of Medicine, speaking to the sickly side effects he experienced after eating at a Chinese restaurant. He blamed feelings of numbness in the back of the neck, gradually radiating to both arms and the back, general weakness, and palpitation on the MSG consumption. And so was born the Chinese restaurant syndrome. Does MSG really do that to you? Some people do have sensitivities and allergies to all sorts of ingredients, like peanuts, soybeans, even apples. So I don't see why not, that some people will definitely experience ill effects from consuming MSG. But I don't know about MSG affecting everyone in that way. MSG stands for Monosodium glutamate. And if that sounds like a scary chemical to you, just know that the table salt that we use, that chemical name is called sodium chloride. I don't know, sounds kind of iffy to me too. That's why we named it salt. Sodium chloride is a salt. Monosodium glutamate is also a salt. Guess what? Our body needs salt to function. So next time seeing MSG scares you, just think of it as a salt. You sprinkle salt on when you eat, you can sprinkle MSG on when you eat and cook too. But just so we're clear, not all salts are edible salts. Some of them are quite poisonous. Lead diacetate, for example. You probably know as well as I do that lead is not good for us. It is quite poisonous and toxic to our bodies. But lead diacetate was used by the Romans as a sweetener. They cooked all sorts of things in pots that had lead in it to sweeten them. If you thought sugar was bad, just look to the past to what we did. Suffice it to say, we don't sweeten anything with lead diacetate anymore. But MSG is not lead diacetate. Besides, did you know that our bodies already have about 4 pounds on average of glutamate in it? Our bodies are like MSG factories. Besides being found in our bodies, it's also found in a lot of other sources naturally. It's in tomatoes, it's in aged cheese, it's in seaweed, mushrooms, fish, fermented stuff, aka all the good things in life that has, flavor. There's a reason why tomatoes taste amazing in anything. and also cheese. Nowadays, MSG is found in a whole lot of stuff, and it's not just Chinese food. It's become incorporated in a whole lot of seasoning mixes, condiments, spice mixes and seasonings, snack foods, canned goods, fast food, all the things that we love because it tastes good. So, what does MSG taste like? Well, interesting. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit savory, not quite salty, and almost tastes like slightly burning plastic, but in a good way. It reminds me of this light seafood taste that comes from crab meat. That kind of sweet, savory, seafoody vibe is exactly what MSG gives to me. It kind of makes me salivate just a little bit, and it leaves this light layer of airiness on my tongue and palate. It's not unpleasant unless you're eating a whole teaspoon of it, which you wouldn't even do with table salt, so don't do that with MSG. On its own, MSG isn't mind-blowingly good, but almost no spices are that good on their own. It's only when you use it in combination with other spices, other flavors, that it comes together into this indescribable je ne sais quoi. TLDR, MSG on its own? Meh. MSG paired with other things? Magic. I am curious though if MSG can actually make a discernible difference in taste, which is why I went ahead and bought so many things with and without MSG. Those are all the snacks that I bought. And we will be taste testing some of those with Aaron. Aaron, what do you think they're constructing outside?
Hopefully an MSG factory.
We have an MSG factory. It's called my countertop. Okay, so I went to the store, grabbed a lot of snacks. Some of them have MSG in the ingredients, some of them don't. Doesn't mean that they don't have MSG already, naturally occurring. It just means they didn't add it into the process. Can we taste the difference? Let's see. First up, crackers. One of these doesn't have MSG and the other one does. They both are thin crackers made of wheat. Aaron, I have a 7-course MSG tasting feast for us.
What happened to your hair?
Fantastic things. Are you ready to have your MSG taste buds put to the test? Dun 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 dun.
That's copyrighted.
Oh, sorry. All right, 2 crackers. One has MSG, one doesn't. Or maybe I'm lying to you. But anyway, taste them. Tell me what you think. No, you cannot mix. No.
Well, it's kind of hard because the whole thing with MSG is it doesn't taste like anything on its own, right? It just makes other flavors taste better. So this whole test today is basically, I'm going to be telling you what I think tastes better. That's it.
I don't think MSG makes everything taste better. Do you?
Well, that's the point. It makes flavors come out more, right?
It's true. Do you think this one's flavorful?
That has more MSG. That has MSG.
That has MSG?
Yeah. And I'm only picking that because it's well seasoned.
It is very well seasoned. Just look at the flavor on this baby.
Punch in on that. Punch in on that like you did before. Look at that. Punch in on those flavor crystals.
Next round, canned fish. Fish time!
Our favorite, not sponsored, but totally should be fish is back. Panasonic.
Panasonic.
Yeah, sponsor us, Panasonic fish.
Okay, so I don't think they're gonna do that. So one of these fish is MSG added, and one of the fish does not have MSG added. Can you guess which?
It's kind of hard because they're different flavors, you know.
They are different flavors. You're totally right. Delicious.
That's tough. They're both really good.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Are you
I
starting?
like this one more, so I'm gonna say this one has MSG.
You like that one more?
It tastes like there's more complex flavors going on here. Well, that's just a good fish
That one
taste.
tastes saltier to me.
Yeah.
Like it tastes a lot more like aged soy sauce.
That's MSG right there. That's umami.
But this one has a sweeter flavor to me.
Okay. What does that mean, though? What does it mean?
Currently not doing too good. And now we have come to my favorite portion of any day, any week, any month, any year, chips. I love chips. And boy, do we have chips. For our first round, we're gonna go with sweet and salty corn snacks. This is my favorite snack of 2020, by the way. Love this one. Do you tear your bags of chips or do you cut your bags of chips with a scissor? Comment down below. Team scissor for the win.
Is that your corn dance? Your corn wiggle? Am I allowed to be influenced by the fact that this is an Asian snack and this is an American snack?
Sure, if you want to be racist. Golden orbs of goodness.
I already know the answer. This tastes more savory, so I'm gonna say this has MSG.
That's more savory?
Yeah. Because that's a lot more sweet. And why would you put MSG in sweet stuff? Why? I ask you, why?
Because flavor. Which one do you like more?
I forgot how good popcorners are. I'm just taking these with me.
Hold on! So your vote is MSG on the popcorners?
Yes. Is that right?
Do you really want to know if you've been right or wrong?
Yeah, what else is the point?
I will tell you, Aaron, so far, 3 out of 3 rounds, you have been wrong on all accounts. I will say that the popcorners have way more of a genuine corn taste. Like, it tastes earthier and carbier. And this corn ball, as delicious as it is, it just tastes like extracted creamed corn flavor, you know?
I'm just processing how wrong I've been. I thought I knew food. I thought I was a foodman.
Next round, savory corn snacks. Ooh, crunchy.
I have a theory.
What's your theory?
So all the stuff so far that has MSG has tasted really good. Like, I've liked it, but it hasn't been as flavorful as the non-MSG thing. So my theory is that food producers add MSG to foods that are naturally less flavorful in order to bump them up a little bit, in order to get them to compete with the foods that they offer that are more flavorful. So MSG makes stuff taste good, but it can only do so much in raising a food's flavor level. Which is why I'm going to pick these corn bits as the ones that contain MSG. They're relatively plain, but they taste great and have this nice level of savoriness that I think the MSG is doing. That amps them up to good snacking.
So you're saying MSG makes bland things taste a little less bland.
Yes. Because enough spices and salt will obviously make anything taste good. We know that from the Aaron week, the way I cook.
So you're saying this
Right?
one has MSG and this one doesn't?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
You got it right.
My theory's right.
I agree. The Tostitos taste absolutely amazing. But my question for you, Aaron, is why wouldn't food producers just use the spice mix that they put on these instead of MSG?
Why don't? Because these are different flavors. This is just like a relatively plain fried corn snack, which wouldn't taste like much if it was just fried corn and oil, right? Maybe a little bit of salt. But the MSG makes it snackable, is what I'm saying.
These are so flavored with MSG, you can see the little crystals of MSG in the bag. Not gonna lie, I am feeling pretty thirsty, but not sure if because of MSG or salt. These snacks have plenty of both. Final round of packaged snack taste test. This meatless chicharron thing. I have no idea what it is, but Aaron wanted to try it, so we shall. Ooh! Aaron, what is this that you picked?
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's salt and vinegar. It's really good.
Oh my god, that vinegar went straight up my nose.
Dude, I love them.
Does this taste like a vegan chicharron to you?
It's vegan?
It's not pork. It's green peas. You like?
Yeah, big time.
MSG or no MSG?
I think I picked it because it had MSG.
Do you taste it?
No, but I see it.
Do you taste that sweetness? I feel like MSG always gives things a sweet curve.
Really?
It's not sugar, but it's like a sweet curve. It's like a little bit plasticky.
I think MSG has a branding problem, right? Because it has this chemically sounding name. But anything can have a chemically sounding name. Like,
Sodium chloride.
Water could be called dihydrogen monoxide. Why don't we just call MSG the Chinese name? We should call it essence of flavor.
It's true. 味精. 味 flavor. 精 essence.
This has been Chinese lesson of the day from June.
So, up next, we're going to make our super salt. 1 part MSG, 9 parts kosher salt, and then we're going to cook some real food and season one version with the salt and one version with the super salt. Who will win? Because MSG is just a flavor enhancer, we're not trying to make the food taste like anything in particular. We're basically just letting it amplify the food's natural flavors. Much like Aaron said, if something is just, boring, a little okay, a little bland, MSG will make it pop just a little more. It's kind of like when you go on Instagram and you just up the saturation a little bit on your photo and it makes it look that much better. Here we have it, 1.3 grams of MSG to 11.7 grams of kosher salt. We're gonna mix it up a little bit and we're going to use it to season our food. So we got our super salt on this side and our kosher salt on this side. Really can't tell the difference. Okay, first thing we're gonna cook, sunny side up egg. That's it. We're gonna season it when it comes out of the pan. Simple. Cast iron skillet over medium heat, a little drop of oil, let it get hot. We're going to drop in our eggs, let them get nice and golden on the bottom, but still runny in the middle. I'm going to put the MSG on this plate, and I'm gonna put the salt one on this one. We'll take them off, we'll sprinkle them with salt on one and super salt on the other, and we'll see if we can taste the difference. Aaron, let's eat.
For salt, I assume it's MSG plus salt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Can I pee first?
I think it's quite the perfect egg consistency, yeah. Oh, yeah. You need a knife? You want a knife? Really struggling there, Aaron.
Didn't you do scrambled?
Welcome to hour 8 of Aaron sawing through a sunny side up egg with his fork. Can you just use your mouth? Shall I cut it up for us?
That salt tastes pretty super.
The one that you have there?
Mm-hmm.
I have a white shirt on. Be careful.
Okay.
Which one is it?
I think this one. This tastes richer.
That tastes richer.
Yeah.
That has MSG.
Yep.
All right, let me taste this. Try.
No. Well, I don't know. This is hard.
Can you taste the difference?
Not really. So I'm just kind of guessing. I think I'm going to switch to this one because that one was saltier.
And as opposed to that one?
It's salty and maybe a little bit of the savoriness. I think I just picked that initially because it was saltier.
Salty and savory.
Yeah.
So you think that one has MSG?
Mm-hmm.
That's the super salt one.
Yeah.
You got it right.
Nice.
Congrats, bud. We're just gonna put a little extra super salt on my last bite, I feel like the one that has the super salt on it almost makes it taste a little bit more like seasoned, spiced. It's not spicy, but it is spiced. It makes sense because MSG was extracted from kelp, which has intense umami, and that flavor reminds me of Japanese dashi, which is a broth brewed from kelp, bonito, all of that good umami, oceany flavors. And it's not seafoody off the bat, but it does have that sweet, savory edge to it. Next up, cucumber salad. We're gonna keep it super simple. We're just gonna use our salts and a little bit of sesame oil as well as grated garlic. That's it. I'm going to take 2 Persian cucumbers, trim off their ends, split them in half, chop them, smash them, throw them in a bowl, and then we're gonna drizzle a little bit of sesame oil over, grate about half a clove of garlic into each bowl, and then we're going to top with a 1/4 teaspoon of our mixture. One will have the super salt mixture and one will just have the kosher salt mixture, which I guess isn't really a mixture. Right. No MSG. It's a tale of two bowls. Aaron,
Yeah.
cucumber salad.
Okay. Where's the chili?
No chili. This is just pure flavor, okay?
Pure flavor. That's what chili is. I think this is it. Without even trying the other one.
Wow, interesting. Why?
I tasted that savoriness.
Without even trying the other one.
Okay, no, I'm not so sure. They taste so similar, like the egg. It's mainly just a guess.
If you dig to the bottom of the bowl, that's where the dressing is, and it might give you more of a clue.
It's pretty salty. Mm-hmm. It's that one. That's salty and savory.
Salty and savory.
Yep.
You can taste it.
Mm-hmm.
What, can you describe what that savoriness is?
It's umami.
Umami. Which one do you
umami.
prefer?
I don't think it's a question of preference. It's just a... Yeah, this is just like a more simple salt flavor. Mm-hmm. Well, this just has like a more interesting richness.
Richness.
So, yeah.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
I
Richness.
assume I'm right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is the MSG super salt.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's a 9-to-1 ratio of salt to MSG, I feel like it does make a difference.
It does, yeah. Now, can I murder it with chili?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
I think with each additional course that we're tasting, it just becomes more and more evident that MSG gives you that intrigue. You can't quite put your finger on it, but there's something more there than just salt. And that to me is quite delicious. Introducing chicken gizzards. I grew up eating these. My mom would braise them in a soy mixture of sorts over very low heat over a very long period of time, and they would get kind of soft and still chewy but very tender and very, very, very flavorful because all of that soy goodness will just get absorbed in there. Gizzards are part of the bird's digestive tract. It's kind of where they grind up all of their food and process it for ingestion, digestion. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, guys. To cut down on the chewiness that could result from a short, fast cooking process, I remove some of the more muscly, tendony, connective tissue from the gizzards. I'm going to be putting the MSG version in this bowl and the kosher salt version in this one. Going in with about a half teaspoon of salt. As always, when cooking new things, as soon as you know the meat is cooked, give it a taste, adjust seasoning as you see fit. Half a teaspoon of our super salt. When I can see that it's mostly cooked and ready to come off the heat, I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to move the gizzards to cover the browning fond on the bottom of the pan and let it rest for about 3 minutes. And then all of the fond will be able to absorb the moisture from the gizzards and be lifted off of the pan. That means more flavor into your bowl. Cheers.
Smells good. What's the seasoning in here? Just your super salt?
It's either salt and then with oil and garlic. That's it.
Oh, that's a great snack.
What do you think?
This is a tough one. Because meat is already a very savory umami flavor,
Yep.
especially gizzard.
It's not very organy tasting.
No.
It's got like a slightest hint of gaminess to it, but it's really nice.
This reminds me of Japanese food and how umami and pure the flavor is.
It's a little bit like yakitori, like just grilled gizzards.
That's my MSG guess.
Why?
Because the flavor is rounder and smoother. Well, this has a sharper saltiness and is less vibrant.
This one is the one with MSG.
I don't know. I was mainly guessing. It was really hard.
I do feel like this one tastes saltier.
Yeah, that's why I didn't pick it, because so far I've picked everything that's tasted less salty and been right about it for MSG.
You know, the only difference this time around is I cooked these. I cooked the salts into the process. So I wonder if that develops
Maybe.
that salty flavor.
They both taste great though. I think what I've learned today is the main utility of MSG is in making food that already doesn't have a ton of flavor and making it taste richer. These gizzards are already very tasty and very rich umami tasting. So the MSG I don't think is going to help them out too much. I think this is the best example of what MSG can do to food. Because it's just fried with a little bit of oil. And that doesn't have much flavor on its own, it's just corn. And then the MSG makes it really addictive.
So you don't think the gizzards needed MSG? Is that what you're saying to me?
No. I think meat, as has been tradition for humans for thousands and thousands of years.
I think you're right, because glutamate is a protein, right? And meat has a ton of protein.
Tons of it already.
Especially gizzards.
Yeah,
very
that's what
protein
makes
heavy.
That's what makes meaty flavors so enticing for humans.
But I think it really did do a service to the cucumber. Cucumber, no protein.
Agree.
But that doesn't make sense because tomatoes don't have protein and they're so packed.
Tomatoes are just special, June.
Like
A
me.
very special veg. Yes, you're the tomato of people.
Well, guys, we have eaten a lot of MSG today. And I'm very happy. Because everything was delicious. Is MSG necessary? Probably not. But I like using it. And maybe you will too, if you just give it a try. Sometimes it just works. You can ask the same question of any other spice that you put into your cooking. Why are you using it? Because it brings with it its own flavors. Flavors that can't be replicated by any other spice out there. That's why we have so many spices to play with, because they're all delicious and they're all worthy of belonging in a dish somewhere. MSG is just one of those things where you can put it into almost anything and it'll change the flavor profile for better or worse, or maybe not detectable at all. But as far as I know, half the condiments in my kitchen have MSG, and I will continue to use them with great happiness. Let me know down below what spice you want me to introduce you to next time. If we do this again, I want you to give me some wild, cool new things. Maybe some things that even I haven't tried. I'm here to learn with y'all, and until next time, stay hydrated, take care of each other, and be frickin' well.